We want to say hello to everybody out there in listening land or looking land. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
And I'm your host, Alex Habersham, coming to you from the historic and lovely Ruth Hartley Mosley Center. We want to give a shout out to Ms. McCord and Mr. Duval and the staff of this lovely facility that Ms. Mosley left, for allowing us to do our shows from here. Everybody loves it, and it's a phenomenal place, and you will hear more about it later. Additionally, this is a continuation of a series of interviews that we are doing. This is the sixth for all the mayoral candidates, and we've had great fun. And one of the reasons for doing these interviews is to give the voting public, and let me just say that again, the voting public. And now the reason I'm saying that is I want everybody who's eligible to come within those confines. The election is September the 17th. Early voting begins August the 26th. You can call the Board of Elections. I'm not sure about the registration process. I don't know when the deadline for registering for the September the 17th election, but it's important. I think this is an excellent opportunity for our community to move forward. I think we've got some good candidates, really, and it's not, I ain't the judge of this. I got one vote, but so do you. Everybody has one vote, so I'm more than a little honored to be able to bring these distinguished gentlemen, including the one we got with us today, in the person of Mr. Joe Allen, here to give his views and his platform and any other kind of information that he's desirous of imparting to you in order to help you make an informed and objective decision. How you doing, sir?
I am doing great. I'm glad to be here, especially this beautiful home here. I mean, this is a gem that people really have not really noticed, close to the old, which is the Children's Hospital.
Right.
And folks, I'm telling you, you need to come and look at this building. It is just absolutely fabulous and beautiful. Ms. Mosley left a gem here.
She really did, and we appreciate it. But we're gonna start off, Joe, by letting you take a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, just to kind of introduce yourself, tell a little bit about your history, kind of give us some biographical information about yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joe Allen. I've been in this area all but 3 days of my life. I was born in Dublin, Georgia. My mother had me. She'd gone to see her parents in Dublin, and that's where I was born. But 3 days after that, I was back in Macon. So Macon's really my home. Ladies and gentlemen, all my life has been community service. When I first started out, as a trainee police officer in the police department in 1968. My father was W. Allen. He was a city detective for so many years. My brother worked in the sheriff's office. But that was not my calling. I ended up on the fire department in 1971 and spent over 30 years with the fire service. During that time, though, I started different programs. In 1969, I started a program called the Macon Youth Club. We were the first group to ever bring the Allman Brothers Band and the Boogie Children to Macon, Georgia, the City Auditorium. And we did it with a bunch of youth. We had Ballard Hudson, Peter Chaplin, we had McAvoy, Willingham, Lanier, Miller. All these schools got together, and we worked as a team to raise money, raise funds, to bring the Allman Brothers Band to the City Auditorium. That's the first time they ever played there. And we had successful. We had more people from Atlanta to come than we had Macon, but it was successful any way you look at it. And it helped start out a program, which is the master plan, because we had asked Ronnie Thompson at the time, who was the mayor, to let's get a plan started, because the youth were getting fed up of being told, you on the backside burner. We don't have nothing for you. And that's what's happening again until we got this master plan in action again that's going on now for recreation. But throughout the time of life, I've been married several times. My wife left me with 3 children in 1986, and I raised those kids by myself. I had the help of my father, my sister, and my mother. She got on drugs, little as that. I mean, we had everything we wanted, but see, drugs hits anybody. She got on drugs, she stayed gone for a long time. I raised the kids by myself with the help of my parents. I was on the fire department, but it happened the same year I started the Kids You'll Love program. Kids You'll Love's in its 28th year. A program that no one makes any money. Alex, you've been a part of the program. There have been so many people in this community that's been part of Kids You'll Love that it's just tied in that we are all God's children. We all belong to God. When we stand before God Almighty, He sent each person here, black man to be a black man, a white man to be a white man, a red man to be a red man. We all here for a purpose. God has a reason for us to be here. And my yearning is to help people. So we have Kids You'll Love, which we take care of kids at Christmas time. We have the Easter egg program, which we take care of Easter, to let them know, have Easter baskets for children. We have the Seniors You'll Love program, where we take care of senior citizens who's left in a nursing home. A quick story about that. In Augusta, Georgia, which one of our Seniors You'll Love programs is located, there was a gentleman in one of the nursing homes there. We didn't know who he was at the beginning, but we found out he was Elvis Presley's guitarist. His family had taken him, placed him in this nursing home in Augusta, Georgia. They put him in there, left him, didn't come back and go see him. That's what I'm telling you. If you know anybody in a nursing home, if you don't, go visit the nursing home. There are a lot of people in there that don't have family, and they're there all by themselves. He didn't have any family. So we made sure all he wanted for Christmas was a baseball cap. We did that. We took care of this man for 3 years. He passed away this past year. But, you know, we still do that for us in Use Your Love program. We do the Kids School Tubes program. We make sure that kids that through the school system have school supplies. There's just so many different things. You can go to kidsyoullove.com that we do. We don't ask for money from corporations. We get it from the people. We ask people to buy toys and drop it in the box. And we take applications. And we don't care if you might have had money and you lose it all. Those children are who we want to try to help. This past year, I started a new program called Bibles You'll Love, which is part of Kids You'll Love. And what I do is I make sure that if a child wants a Bible, he or she's got that Bible. We gave away over 800 Bibles for children, we had some for adults, but adults wanted the Bibles. We even had given away Bibles that are audio Bibles for children that were blind. So, I mean, that's my calling. But in that period of time, I've been a commissioner. Most of the money that I get as a county commissioner goes back into Kids You'll Love. Because as you see, we don't get any corporate money and stuff like that, except what people like you make donations to the program. So in saying all this, my life is centered around my community and all this entire state, but mostly around Macon-Bibb County. You're my family, and my job is to try to do whatever I can to make sure my family has something, don't go without. We even do that with food. We find places with the food bank to take care. We find a family needs food, we go to them. That's our job. Everybody's supposed to help one another. So who am I? I'm a person that got put on this earth that believes I'm a public servant and I work for the people. And that seat that I'm sitting in as your commissioner for the last 20 years, and at the water authority for those 2 years, I work for you. The seat belongs to you. It don't belong to me. And if you elect me as your mayor, I put my phone number on the billboards. The billboard's out there. You can call me. It's on the card I gave Alex a few minutes ago when I asked Alex for his vote, as I'm asking you for your vote. 741, I think it's, I don't know, lost 4,500, 471, whatever the number is out there.
478-955.
4100. I got a lot of numbers going through my head right now.
I thought you were going to give him my number. I said,
I'm
whoa.
going to give you Alex's number. See, that's the thing I'm talking about. Politicians and other people out there, how many of those individuals do you have their phone number? I can reach in my pocket right here, and I'll bring it out. You'll see my car riding around town. It says Joe Allen, 478-955-4100. You call me. I had a person call me from Gordon, Georgia the other day, and as soon as I hung up, I had one call me from Cordele, Georgia, that saw it on television and said, I really want to find a real politician that would put their phone number on a card or even tell us on TV. Well, guess what? I'm not a politician. I'm your statesman. I represent you. That's the bottom line.
Very good. Now, thanks for that, very, very thorough.
That was a short version.
Well, I know you could talk the rest of the day, but let's deal with some more issues.
Vote for me, remember.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's deal with some more issues,
Okay.
because what I'm trying to do is I have established a set of questions
Okay.
that I'm asking everybody, that are important. So, our purpose here is to give information about the candidates, so the voting public will get a feel of who they want to vote for.
Right.
And how these candidates feel on certain issues. Now, the first of these is community unity. Now, we've got all kinds of, some disagreements. Some people say it's a racial problem, some people say it's a geographic problem, but nobody has denied the fact that we've got some division in the community that tends to hold us back. So just give us your, once elected mayor, what kind of efforts would you exert to pull the community together?
I think a lot of the problems within the community is within the black community themselves. A lot of people will say, what? Look at the black on black crime. We've got to get our pastors, we've got to get our mamas and our pops and our aunts and our uncles, white and black, no matter what color you are, working with our youth. That's where most of your problem lies, right there with our kids. Let me tell you, I was in Village Green just yesterday, and I saw 2 police officers over there, and I said, what has happened over here in Village Green? And you had white people and black people over there, and those people wasn't arguing. It's mainly the arguments are amongst your politicians. They want to argue this and want to argue that. Hogwash. We've got to get good people in office that will, like I said earlier, we're all God's children. If God came back today, He would want to know one question. Why are my children acting the way they are? They're not being obedient to what the Bible tells them to do. We shouldn't have these problems. We should not. You get people out of office and you'll stop a lot of it. That's the problem. People in office that want to cause problems. And it's not just the black man or black woman, it's the white man, the white woman, it's people in general that think they've got some power, but the power is within the people, not within the individual holding the office.
Very good. Okay, the next question, thing that I want to address, although it's kind of indirectly related, but I want to talk about education for a minute. That's one of my pet peeves. And I think that education will play a major role in improving this community and helping it to move forward, particularly public education. As you know, we've got a less than acceptable graduation ratio for Bibb County.
In the public schools.
In the public schools, yes. In the public school system. So let's say what you would do, and I know you're not on the Board of Education, but I think if the community, my reason for asking this question, if the community is going to grow, then certainly there has to be some improvement in the educational system. And irrespective of other projects and programs, unless, in my opinion, that's improved, then we're going to be stagnated.
Oh, I got your answer. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I talked about Kid Your Love a while ago. We have so many private schools in Bibb County. It's just unbelievable. And in the private school system, if you try to get their SAT scores, they will not let you have them because they're afraid that other private schools will look at their SAT scores against their SAT scores to find out which is the better school to send their children to. Now, what you've got here is the public school system back here in the back. These are children that their parents cannot afford, or the aunts and uncles or whoever is raising them cannot afford to get them into the private school system. So you have an overabundance of kids in the public school system, and they're mainly black Americans that are caught up in this situation that can't get ahead. They can't get ahead. If you could get the system working together, if you can get all these organizations, such as what we have here, working together, get the 100 black men in the schools with the teachers. I have proposed, when I'm elected mayor, I want to be able, I think the right hand should know what the left hand's doing. The mayor or his designee as a commissioner should sit on that school board and have to be the 9th member on that school board. Have legislation adopted through the state that we have a member on there, and that way you have two taxing authorities. The right hand's going to know what the left hand's doing, and we can work it through there and try to find some positive attitudes of trying to help with our kids. You got some kids out there, I got one, I know, it's hard-headed, don't care about learning, don't care about going to school. We've got to set up things like WUs that used to be set up where they teach them a trade. Everybody's not going to college. I tried it and I didn't make it. So I mean, did I learn a trade? I learned how to be a firefighter, so yeah, I guess I did learn a trade. Bottom line, there's avenues that you can take. We are not getting out of the box to look at them. I mean, you got a lot of people running for office who want to just put mustard on it and just put it off to the side. You can't do that. You got to hit it head on. We know what the problems are. We got to hit it head on. We got to teach these kids trades that don't want to learn. And they do. I mean, some of them got ADD, ODD. I mean, different fundamentals. They got problems where they were crack babies. And, you know, you put them in the school system and all these other kids, you have problems. Do our school system address that? No, they do not. They're doing away with a lot of the counselors. I disagree with that. You need more counselors out there. You need more people involved with the system. And like I said, we need a system in which you got children that can be taught in a trade environment. And that way, I mean, give them something they can work off of. Been there, know what I'm talking about.
Thank you very much. Okay, this is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, interviewing Commissioner Joe Allen, who's the 6th of the 7, six who qualified and won right in.
But we'll be number 1.
Yeah, mayoral candidate that we've interviewed. Appreciate Commissioner Allen coming, and we're going to move right along with the interview. Of course, the objective of interviewing these candidates is to give the voters an opportunity to evaluate and listen to and determine, what basis around which they are going to cast their vote. So I appreciate everybody's coming and imparting that information to the public. Okay, we're going to move on to the economic issue. I think it's important that we talk about how we can advance economics in our community. So what have you done, are doing, and will do to help to move this community forward economically? Before you answer, let me mention one thing to you. As you know, geographically, we got a model community. We probably got the best location in the state. Additionally, you want that authority. We got water. Water is a precious commodity, particularly for industry. So, just what would you do? And it seems to me, Commissioner Allen, that based on those factors, that although we get some industries coming in, I know you all have been working on, but it seems to me that we are positioned to attract more industry. So what can this community do? What would you do?
Number 1, I've already started on it. I even talked to our president mayor, to the chairman of the board of commissioners. First off, we made a mistake. Delta and a lot of other companies wanted to come here. If we would have extended that runway by 2,500 feet, we know we had to go over in Houston County. We are trying, you want to regionalize? Do something that's going to help both of us. Run that runway over there. We've already got 3 different plants out there that can work on those aircraft. Delta needs a cargo hub outside of Atlanta. They can't go to Augusta because you got the base there, the big base. Then you can't go, they don't want to go back toward Rome or back to the north of Chattanooga. They do not want to go over toward Augusta. They want to come Macon. Macon's only 87 miles away. Bring it to Macon. Macon's been sitting on their hands, not doing anything. The base, matter of fact, Lewis B. Wilson's inside the city. The county had no authority on it, but I've already talked with them. We also know that they're going to be deepening the port, not just at Savannah, but at Brunswick. You got I-16, I-75. We got the largest east of the Mississippi in Bronson Yard that can take a lot of this stuff and run it out of Bronson Yard.
Where's Bronson Yard?
Bronson Yard is down on 12th Street.
Train station.
Train station.
Yeah.
We can run stuff out of Bronson Yard and get it moving. That's money to Bibb County. That's jobs to Bibb County. How many jobs do you think that we will bring in by fixing that thing at that airport? That's what we should have been doing. But they didn't do that. That's fine. I do plan, if I become mayor, that's going to be one of the first priorities. Second, when they built the Macon Mall, and this is for a lot of some of the people our age, Alex, when they took the Macon Mall, when they built the Macon Mall and closed downtown Macon, you took all the shops out of downtown Macon, the majority of them, and moved them to Macon Mall, and guess what? You killed downtown Macon. Now, people are finally realizing, hey, downtown Macon, we need to move back downtown Macon. I remember my mother, I don't remember it, but I was told that my mother and father lived downtown Macon on 1st Street years ago when I was just a baby. And guess what? There was a lot of people who lived downtown Macon. They're bringing people back downtown now. Macon is a safe downtown environment. Macon's safe. They are going to have some hiccups, yes. But overall, Macon's downtown is safe. Put people back in the lofts downtown. Bring business back to town. Instead of giving these large incentives to these companies that are not coming in here but taking our money, instead of doing that, let's put it with these downtown businesses, minority businesses, or owned by women or whoever. Let's build them up a little bit and give them a shot in the arm where they can watch and make sure everything's run right. And if we put taxpayer dollars in there, where we put taxpayer dollars in these big businesses, let's build up downtown Macon. Let's get Macon to be the mega center that it once was. I'm telling you folks, we do that, then you're going to look at the train station. Then we start on that to move these trains in and out again. We already talked about the train center, about moving cargo out. That's going to be the next part of the generation coming. I only want 3 years. In the first 3 years, I promise you, you're going to see a major difference working with not just these outside community people I plan to bring in to work with me, because I'm not the most intelligent person on everything. I'm not a surgeon. I'm not a surgeon. I'm not in certain other fields. I'm not a lawyer. But in my field of work, I will bring people in that can help me and show me the way of certain things that I don't know about, and then I will take it to the Board of Commissioners and explain it to them, and we'll come up with a plan to make it work. This is what I'm talking about, bringing everybody together, rich, poor, whatever. Black, white, it does not matter, because we all is one.
That leads into my next question. There has been a lot of discussion about schism and division in our community. Mm-hmm. A lot of people talk about, that we could probably fare a lot better if, in fact, there were not so many pockets of separation and disagreement and political bickering and racial bickering and geographic bickering. What would you do? To try to see if we can't build some bridges between these factions that would make this better community and improve.
I've already started it. I went to Village Green looking for gang members. First off, you got to get some of your kids to understand, if you shoot somebody, you're going to jail, and you probably won't ever get out of jail. You're going to get caught. Then we talked to our adults and said, look guys, we got to work together. We're here as a team. Let's be a team, not an I. We got to do it as a team. Then I would get with the organizations. All organizations, service organizations out there for some reason or another. Your organizations worked with Kids You Love before. We've worked with you before. And when we were down on 1st Street, folks, it works when you put it together. It's not about I, it's about us or we.
Very good. Okay, well, you've got about 3 minutes to look into that camera and tell people why, they should vote for you.
You know, as I just told you, I've been part of this community for a long time. All I'm asking for is the 3 years that's on this, and I call it a contract. I'm asking you for 3 years. Y'all have stood by me through thick and thin. I was the first certified county commissioner in the history of Bibb County, through the school, through the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia. I'm one that believes in transparency. I'm one that believes we all belong to one God. I'm one that believes everybody deserves a chance. I'm one that believes we got to find jobs for our youth to get them off the streets and keep them out of trouble. I'm one that believes we got to find a way to teach our children. I'm one that believes we got to put a person down at the school board so the right hand will know what the left hand is doing. I'm one that believes that I will make sure that from radio and TV, every time we have a meeting of sorts, that you will be able to hear it and watch it, not have to wait on a newspaper to give you part of it, but you'll hear all of it. I'm one that believes that without you, I can't make it. So if you want something where people are there for you, just look at my card. I gave you my phone number, 741. What's that number?
It's 951.
I'm sorry, see? I don't call me, 951
4100.
4100. You know, I've had this phone number over 10 years. 955 4100. Folks, it's on billboards. You can call me anytime. This number's not going to change. All you got to do, and when I become mayor, you still call me. I'll have a secretary. I might not call you right back then, right particular moment, but I'll call you. You got a problem? Call me. Even when this airs, you get a problem, you call me. I called you, didn't I? All you got to do is call me, and I'll be there. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what a servant is supposed to do. I serve you. We work together. Keep me in your prayers, and let's hope God takes hold of this community. Thank you.
This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I want to express my appreciation to Commissioner Joe Allen for giving us important information to make us informed and educated about your position on issues within the community. As I said, this is the final of a series of interviews that we're doing for all mayoral candidates. Remember, early voting starts on August the 26th, and then the date to vote is September the 17th. And everybody must vote. I think this is an excellent opportunity, frankly, for us to pull this community together and to grow it, to put it in a position where we can improve the quality of life, where we can make sure that all of our young people are educated, where we can attract industries, where we can support the senior citizens like Joe in our community and do all the right things. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Have a great day.
www.makingblackpages.com